started your playing records at the school dances, playing records at the school dances was the beginning of your music career, correct?
Yeah, kind of 8th grade Coke dances. Well, you don't have to think once in a while, so I'll look up. My dad helped kids diving. My dad was an Olympic diver in the 32 Olympics, and so he would give free diving lessons, so all the kids liked him. So they asked him to play records at Nauert Coke dances, and he didn't know what to play, so I said, play this, play that, and he said, you do it. So I did it, and a couple of my neighbors, Eddie Bertrand and Paul Johnson, were playing guitar together. I said, why don't you guys come play for our Coke dance? And he said, well, you have to do something for us, and you have to give the drummer a ride. So I wasn't old enough to drive, but my dad loaned me the '58 Bel-Air, and I picked up Richard Delvey, the drummer. And on the way they played, and the deal was I'd get them a ride up in the Palos Verdes News about their band. So I actually have that article. I found Richard had kept it. And on the way home, I said to Richard, I've been thinking about learning how to play guitar. If I learn how to play guitar, can I be in the band? And he said, no, we've got 2 guitar players, but if you learn how to play bass guitar, we can use you. So I'd never heard of it. So I went to the head of the Torrance, friend of mine, classmates, his dad was head of the Torrance Music Schools Department, and I said, I need to get a bass guitar. And he said, okay, go there and order it. And I went and ordered one. It was $90. I mowed lawns, washed cars. You know, this is 8th grade stuff. Until I got my $90, and they ordered it and came in a box, and they opened the box, and I went, what's this? It's no wiggly stick. It's only got 4 big silver earthworms. You know, I said, well, I guess that's it. So they were playing, it was a group called the Bel-Airs. They took their name from the car. So there's Torrance Armory dance, you know, $1 to get in, and I paid my $1 and went in and stood there with my guitar. You know, I wasn't very music business savvy, you know. I said, well, here I am, and they played a couple more songs on the floor in the Torrance Armory, and okay, plug in there. So I didn't really know how to tune it or play it, so I just kind of muffed it with my hand and played it like a bass drum. And it made the band sound a lot better, and I was in. And so Eddie Bertrand, who, another part of the Bel-Airs, who went Eddie and the Showman, and went on to just a great guitar player. He's probably one of the best improvisational guys pre-Hendrix. He played with he helped Leo Fender develop the Showman amplifier for the big sound, you know, because he wanted, anyway, he would show me parts, and we'd do it at his house. And then for other things, he just had a record turntable, and I could plug it in at home in my bedroom and put a headphone on, and I could actually hear the bass part. I could plug my bass guitar in, and I could learn the parts that way. But mostly you just sort of learn odds and ends. You know, it's the What I Say, Ray Charles riff, or it's the honky tonk riff, or it's very few Around the Horn and Sea. And for example, we did a song called Mr. Moto, and it was a big hit in Southern California, maybe sold 1,200 records. And the Ventures were sort of at the end of their creative juices, and they were looking for material because they'd run out, and they did Mr. Moto on one of their albums, and they invited us to come and sing along. Bob Moore is a stand-up bass player in Nashville, did most of those sessions, Roy Orbison, and you know, all the great classic Owen Bradley, Quonset Hut sessions, but he never went from stand-up to electric bass. But his wife went and Googled around and found the Ventures doing Mr. Moto, and there's my voice singing on it. And I just had forgotten all about that, but it was so much fun to hear it.